I'm back. A lot of you may have thought I quit, but no, we took a break. That's the first, I think, actual break I've taken, like full-on break, where I totally let myself disconnect from work and YouTube and things like that. And it was much needed. I think I'm gonna have to make that a point to do at the end of every year because it was very needed, and I feel pretty refreshed and ready to get back to work. So it was a couple moments where it was tough. They dropped the new champ. They dropped the new commander. There's been a lot going on. There's been moments where it's tough because I feel like I want to get left behind. I need to make videos on this stuff, but I refused to let myself get pulled back in. So especially this last week, we relaxed. We went and did a bunch of things around the city that we wanted to make sure we did before we left it, whenever that ends up being. It was nice. We went to the zoo and checked out some new restaurants and did some cool stuff. So it was good. We feel good. Ready to get back to work though, for sure. I need to do some gear management on my account for sure. We'll do some catch up, a little bit of catch up. Because I did still play Eternal Evolution because actually I really just enjoy playing the game. So whereas Raid, I kind of didn't touch for the last few weeks. Eternal Evolution, I still logged in most days and made sure that I kept up with the events. I haven't been super involved as I would usually. For example, Summit Arena, I've kind of just let myself, I registered my teams and then let auto battles do whatever auto battles do. I made it through the first round. I don't think I made it through the second round. And actually, I believe we can go in and vote now. I didn't do Wasteland every day, but I would jump in. I've tried to stay on top of Rise of Heroes. I would usually do my dungeon runs. I did my Ancient Altar. I don't know if we were able to do it last week, but this week we were able to kill every boss. We can one-shot every boss now, which is pretty dope. Which I reckon means it's probably about time to think about another difficulty, which I hope they're thinking. I hope they're thinking about another difficulty of that. And I hope they're thinking about another some more difficulties of these because, you know, they're. I mean, I don't know. I know that there's another tier of gear, and we've talked about that. But Terradome's the only one I can't get faster on yet. I'm down to about 2 minutes there. These I'm 27 seconds though. So, but I'll show you what I'm talking about when I say there's another tier of gear. Tears for fears. If we go into the filter, I can remember how to do it. It's been a minute. I have to be forging a piece. That's right. So we'll do. We'll just click one. We'll go forge, and then we go into settings. There is immortal. There's a tier of gear called immortal. But so far, I have not seen that anywhere. I haven't seen it in any events. I haven't seen it in like any drops from anywhere in the game. So there is another tier of gear already established in the game. So I'll be interested to see like how that's going to get implemented. But as of right now, I just kind of feel like I've hit the end. Also, Terradome. We might do a video soon talking about a couple of things that I think the game needs. I don't think there are any glaring issues still, but there's a couple of minor things I would like to start seeing get implemented. So maybe we'll do a video talking about that soon. But yeah, we've like pretty much kept up with both of our accounts. I kept up with my main account slightly more than I did my free-to-play account, but I still kept up pretty well with the free-to-play account as well. So again, we'll do another video soon where I guess we go through and talk about our progress. We're doing pretty well here. We do finally have a champ at she'll be at 240. As soon as I can evolve my Taylor to 220, which we're getting there. We'll be able to start getting champs to 240, which is going to start to open up like the next part of the game for us, at least as far as our champs and maybe PvP are concerned. Again, we're pretty much, I think we've kind of beaten the game at this point. I have done all of the rifts. I'm done with all the dungeons. Wasteland hasn't been a problem for a long time. I can one-shot every difficulty in Altar. Soul Mine, I'm still working on progress. I haven't tried in a few days, but actually I haven't done Soul Mine in a couple of weeks now. So I imagine we can jump in here and get a little bit more progress here, but there's still some work to be done there. And then storyline progress. Elite campaign I haven't tried to progress in a minute. But I think we're getting to that point where the game is about to start needing some more. Because I've spent a little bit of money. I haven't spent a ton of money like a whale generally would. So I imagine they're even more at the point where it's kind of like the only thing they really have to push them at this point is PvP, I would say. So I'm hoping in the next month or two they at least talk about some additions to the game that are more difficult to continue the need to scale. I also don't know how far the story actually goes. For some reason, I'm inclined to think it's 50, but story stage. No, there's 52, 5. Yeah, I don't know how far the storyline actually goes. 54, 55. Oh, okay. So it goes for a while then. So I guess 60. I guess it goes to 60 as of right now. So we have a ways to go there. But anyway, again, still no glaring problems, and I'm far from bored. But I could understand if anyone that has spent a lot more money than me and progressed faster than me, I could understand that feeling starting to creep in. And I feel like after a few more weeks, maybe of you know, not much else going on. Twilight Lands will still be a fun challenge. I've got a long way to go in Twilight Lands still. So there's a lot of progress to be had there when the time comes. But it would be interesting. It would be nice to have, I don't know, maybe another difficulty in Altar. Maybe some more difficulties here. Again, I still have projects though. I still have things to do. I have Soul Mine progress to make. I have storyline progress to make. I have elite campaign progress to make. And then arena, you know, if you care about arena and be competitive. I got a little bit of climbing to do. Because again, there's been some days where I haven't done arena. So I've dropped down a little bit. So I'm going to have to, I've got a little bit of catch up to do as well. Because not pushing to keep up for the last couple weeks and just kind of maintaining daily. I've noticed there's quite a power discrepancy in between me and some of the people that used to be. Like I think Session's in my guild actually. And Session, I used to be a couple 100,000 power higher than, and now Session has passed me. And then there was a couple of other champs, or not champs, but players that I've seen that their power level has like crept up beyond me. Because it's a lot of the same faces. You see a lot of the same faces in the top 100. So I'm just aware that I've started to kind of slip away. So I've got to play a little bit catch up here. I think the big thing for me right now is to focus on getting the rubies to get Taylor evolved so that I can start pushing champs to 240. And yeah, I think we're probably going to come out of this with a maxed out Kalaza, which will be cool. I think we're going to be able to do that on the free to play as well. But again, I didn't keep up with it quite as much, so it might lack a little bit, but we'll eventually get it. I mean, Kalaza is not super rare to pull or anything, so yeah, we've got the events pretty well. I haven't done any summons yet. I really like Skewer and Hattie, and I would like my Skewer and Hattie to get stronger, but I feel like I'm so squared away on summoners right now that even a couple more Lucians and Skewer and Hattie would not make me substitute a maxed out Muka, a nearly maxed Kalaza, a nearly maxed Senway, an Immortal Day. I feel like I'm so squared away on summoners that until I have access to a lot of copies of Skewer and Hattie's not getting a spot in my summoning team anyway. So, and then the other one was still Bada, which I've considered going hard for, but I just haven't. Make sure I got my blue orbs from here too. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I've already pulled a couple. I've got her at like Mythic 2, I think. Mythic 2 or 3 or something like that. And she's definitely good, but I don't know. So we've just kind of held ourselves at a standstill for summons for the time being. But yeah, I guess that's kind of like a vague catch up for the main account. Kind of thought we would do it in another video, but it kind of just happened in this video. So what are you gonna do? You know. So anyway, yeah, I think I've got a couple of video ideas to pump out relatively soon. I want to talk about some things that I think could stand to be tweaked in the game, and then we'll get back to our our regularly scheduled stuff. There's probably going to be a pretty long gear rolling video coming because, again, I've got in my mailbox, I've got a ton of overflow gear because my gear's been full. So I've got a lot of gear to roll, and then maybe we'll do some smelting as well after we roll some gear. But I'm hoping there's some upgrades to be made on some of my champs. But that's probably going to be a pretty long video. So if that interests you, that's coming soon. Talk about some stuff I think the game needs. I've got a couple of other tips and stuff to drop in a video soon. So we're ready to get back to it pretty hard. And then I've got some other stuff going on externally of this channel that I'll probably fill you guys in on as it develops a little bit more, if that interests you at all. And but yeah, other than that, I'm glad to be back. I hope you guys had a good holiday season, good New Year. If you took any sort of break, I hope that it was as good for you as mine was for me. I feel really good. Like I said, I'm gonna have to make that a priority, I think, at the end of every year if I feel like I'm able to do it, because it feels really, really necessary now having done it. So that's it. We're back at it. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Hope it's been good, and we'll see you in another video